Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Film Insiders. And today we have with us Åsmund Hasli, a documentary DOP, who is now probably transitioning in directing as well. And yes, I'm really happy to have you here, actually, Åsmund, because I'm also a DOP, also working in documentaries, still in the first steps, but it's really nice to have someone doing the exact same thing like I do, and who has more experience. So let's see what I can actually learn out of that as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, or maybe for you having me, because we're in your offices, kind of.
That's true.
Yeah.
We're at Medieoperatørene, who produced, they produced a ton of documentaries, including the one which I directed and shot myself.
Yeah. Are you also a co-owner of the company, or you're just a film worker here?
No, just in the directors. I'm one of the directors here. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, maybe we can start a little bit about your journey, how it all started, and where it started from, or if it was like a childhood dream you had. Like if you can go us through like the first steps.
I think it started from when I was like 12, 13 years. Me and my friends, we would do skateboarding. And my mother, she had like a handy camera. I think it was called, it was like a super VHS video camera. It had like these mini VHS tapes that you would put into an adapter. Anyways, from the technical aspect, I mean, it made like that we could shoot stuff. So we would just shoot like when we were skateboarding, doing stupid stuff. But anyways, so I think that was the first like experience, like handling a camera. And I mean, it was like totally amateurish, but it sparked an interest anyways. So I mostly had fun with it, but
Okay.
I didn't imagine it could be work.
Yeah. So it started like with your friends just hanging around like with skateboards, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's basically how it came about. Yeah.
It seems like it's a lot of people starting out like this.
I know.
I had one more episode with again with a director for documentaries, and he told me the exact same thing. They started just by recording about film productions. I don't know if you know them, the ones that they did Askel.
Yeah. Yes. I think I know them. Yeah.
Also, they did Supervention.
Yeah.
So the director of them, he told me exactly the same thing, that he started with like skateboarding, etc., and then it transitioned.
Yeah.
But what was like the next steps? Okay, you grab like a camera, and then do you leave this interest in a drawer and then you come back to it, or?
I think because I was also when I started in high school, videregående skole in Norwegian. I did like. You can choose like a specific direction. I mean, you're still doing like the general curriculum, but it was also possible to, I think like 5 to 10 hours per week you could choose. And I had like 5 to 10 hours of media studies, I think it was called, or just media maybe. So yeah, we were learning like basic cinematography, directing, editing.
Okay.
On a really like low level, but still it was
absolutely.
It was like a step in that direction. Still, I think like even back then I wasn't really imagining working as a DOP or in cinema.
Yeah.
So that came a little bit later, but it was like I was also into languages. I wanted to study languages actually. So
right.
After high school, I was a year in Barcelona, and I was working at a bar.
Okay.
And I had brought a stills camera, one of these like old school compact 35mm film cameras, like point and shoot camera, and I wanted to just try to experiment a little bit with it, so I bought some black and white film.
Okay.
And like I was there almost for a year or something, and I like this whole trip I only shot like one roll of 35mm film.
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So, and I think that kind of sparked the interest because I got it developed and made some prints from it, and I was like, oh wow, this is so beautiful. Like
Yeah.
the 35mm. I think it was like Kodak 3x
Okay.
or something, like 400 ISO, the classical like news photography film. And yeah, I think that sparked an interest, and I was like, oh, maybe not the languages any. I'm still interested in that as well, but maybe I'll try to study something else. And then I applied for. I came back to Norway, and I was working in Kaffebrenneriet in Oslo, a cafe, and then did that for a while. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I should apply for, because I knew there was something called television and multimedia studies. It's in Stavanger. So I started there, and I did like a bachelor's degree in Stavanger.
Okay.
And that was, we did like everything from editing, directing,
Yeah.
shooting and stuff. But I was pivoting more and more into the visual side of it, like
Okay.
cinematography. So that was kind of what I was aiming for.
I actually want to get a little bit back when you started with the 35mm photography.
Yeah.
What was what did you find interesting about it, and what did you shoot exactly with the camera? Was it street photography mainly, or
No, it was
people?
No, it was like in a way it was quite intimate because it was like people in the bar where I was working. It was people from the collective. I was collective from the apartment.
Yeah, I see.
I was
collective,
renting together with a couple of people I had met in Spain.
Okay.
And it's felt, I don't know, when I saw it the first time and I had moved back to Norway, it felt very much like a catalog over this year and with these people. And
Okay.
so it had kind of an intimacy.
I see what you're
I
saying.
think.
Yeah. That's
So
pretty interesting.
that made me like, oh wow, it was fascinating, I think.
Nice. So it was just kind of capturing your day-to-day life and the people around you.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, for me, I kind of started the exact opposite. I wasn't shooting people at all. I started almost like with solitude. All of my photography was no people included at all. It was just empty streets, etc., etc. So it's interesting to hear like another path to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone has their own way into cinematography or photography for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Okay, and then you are leaving like the university from Stavanger. What are the next steps? Do you jump directly into the industry, or you do something else?
I started working for a production company in Stavanger. I did that kind of halfway into the studies, so I was working some hours here and there and helping out. But it was mainly like news, like a cameraman for the news, because this production company they had like a contract with the main office here in Oslo to shoot the news or to provide like the camera services and the technical service for the journalists who were based in Stavanger.
I see.
So they were kind of delivering the technical package in a way. So I was doing that, and then after doing that, it was quite easy to move to Oslo, and I started working at TV2 here in Oslo, the main office here. Okay. And then later on, I started also freelancing for NRK, and then I kind of ended up working for NRK at the local NRK in Oslo.
Yeah. How did you land those jobs? Like, what was the process behind it?
I think, yeah, good question. I think like the entrance for me was like that job in Stavanger at this production company. There was another student, and he was the one kind of getting me into this job.
Right.
So that was the first like experience. He kind of vouched for me, and he was like, "Yeah, this guy, he's good. So you can you can have faith in him and that he will deliver, blah blah. So, and after that, it was like quite easy to move to Oslo to work for the news here because I already proved I could do that in a way.
Then I kind of know the story, but it's interesting to listen it for the podcast as well. So then you enter NRK, and then what happens?
Yeah, so
because we discussed that last time when I had the coffee.
So so what happens is I think like the first like 1 or 2 years it was quite I thought it was quite interesting. I think maybe I was a little bit in a way naive because I had like we had been doing some documentaries when I was in Stavanger, and I was very attracted by that. I wanted to do more of that and also fiction, but I was thinking, okay, maybe documentary is what should be able to me to do. So I had this ambition to work with documentaries, but what I came to experience is that like moving from news, like for being a cameraman at the news to being a documentary cinematographer, that was kind of I didn't know how to do that, how to move from this area to, and I think what I was saying, like being naive, is I didn't quite understand how the separation between these two worlds, it is quite different. And
yes,
so I grew tired of the news, like reportage kind of thing, and I was like. I was turning into a bitter old 26-year-old guy, or maybe 27, 20.
Yeah.
And I felt I was really not going anywhere. But so there was this other cinematographer, Karl-Erik Brøndbo, which is, I think he's one of the best in Norway, DOPs.
Okay.
And he was working also at, so Karl-Erik was working at NRK. We had a year where we both were working there at the same time. And he applied for the Norwegian Film School, and then he came in. It's kind of a hard process, but he was accepted.
Okay.
And every time he was back, he was like in because he was in the summers, for example, he would come and do some shifts. So every time he was back, he was like, "Åsmund, you need to apply for the film school. You need to do that. You need to apply, because you're gonna be crazy if you keep going here."
Yeah.
So he was always telling me that whenever I saw him, he was like, "You should do it. You should do it." Blah, blah. So eventually, I applied for film school, the Norwegian Film School, National Film School, and I got accepted. And actually at the same time, they offered me
a promotion, to NRK.
Yeah, not promotion, but really like I was called fast job.
Okay.
Like
permanent job.
Permanent.
Yeah.
Contract.
Yeah.
So it was funny because suddenly I had like this choice, like film school or this permanent job, and it felt really like kind of a life decision.
Yeah, safety or back to the roads at 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I chose. I took the red pill.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. I hear that. How did that go?
No, I mean, I've been really happy about it. I really love like working with cinema. I mean, I'd also been working quite some in fiction, but mainly I've been shooting documentaries. I also shot one feature film. So I'm super happy with that choice, and I think what I kind of, I mean, like all the technical stuff you can really, I mean, now it's not really hard to learn the technical stuff. You have so many, I think you have so many like podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever.
Absolutely.
There's just tons of it. And online courses and whatnot. So, but I think what the most important thing for me, like personally, was learning more about the artistic process, like developing a language with the other students, reflecting upon the process, and also spending just time in process, letting the material kind of slowly. So I mean, in both fiction and documentary, but I think that's kind of a main takeaway from film school is the artistic process.
Okay. So, other than the artistic process, are there any pros or cons about it? Something maybe you didn't like?
I think I was really enjoying my time there.
Okay.
I think, I mean, we had like the Norwegian Film School. I mean, it had quite a lot of money, so we got to experiment a lot. They had quite like, I mean, really good equipment. So in film school, we had all different subjects. We had like directing, producers, script writers, sound, camera, production design. So
But that was a bachelor or a master's? Because
that was a bachelor.
Okay, so that was
Yeah.
like your second bachelor's
Yeah.
in film,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I it was a bit like, felt a bit weird going back to school for another bachelor, but I'm really still, I feel like I mean, most of the people who entered film school, they've done quite a lot of stuff before. At least most of the people
Yeah,
coming.
especially in the biggest school in Norway as well. I guess that's
Yeah.
kind of because they take the best candidates. So
Yeah.
I guess they're gonna be a little bit more experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it was maybe one thing I didn't like, or which felt, because I was thinking when I started, I thought like, I know like a lot, I know everything, but they really like, they kind of stripped away a lot of the stuff that you thought you were good at, and so they kind of like leveled everyone and then started like building it up again in a way.
Okay, I see.
That was kind of the pedagogic, the method.
The method, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bit hard. Like,
Yeah. I guess humbling as well. After
Yeah,
22nd, you have also worked with NRK. I guess you
yeah,
like you're not. I guess everyone would be tempted to be like, okay, like I know those stuff, you know.
yeah,
I know the stops. I know how to set up like a light or whatever. Like I'm not supposed to listen to you, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was very, humbling, and you also discover that there's always new stuff to discover, and then that's maybe one of the things I really also appreciate, that you can really find something new. Like you're really never finished.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And maybe it's also refreshing as well
Yeah,
to
I think
get
so.
to listen to someone about it, especially if your teachers were good, which as far as I understand, they were good.
Yeah, I mean, we had both. We had like Kjell Vassdal. He has shot like, I don't know how many films, but a lot in Norway. And really, a top person, really nice guy, and he was great. He was the main professor for the cinematography students.
Okay.
So
he was kind of like your mentor, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also had other people coming in, other cinematographers, colorists.
Okay, nice.
So I think like the whole package was really solid.
Absolutely. After the second bachelor, like what was the next step? Did you find a job immediately? Like I'm really interested because it's a big journey. Until you get to the documentary field.
When I finished film school, I think it took some time before I actually started getting like paid jobs. I mean, maybe did like some small stuff here and there, but it took some time to get like the interesting jobs. It was also like a struggle, and I mean, I done like everything from corporate films to commercials to documentaries. And so I've been through. I feel I've been through like all the different genres, social media, like all the different stuff.
Yeah, just to make a living as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And and I'm really, I'm fine with that. Like I can do a couple of the more, I wouldn't say boring, but maybe more prosaic, where you don't put like all your creativity into it. It's more like you're there to do like just do a solid job in a way. So I'm fine with that. And as long as I can keep doing the more maybe artistic projects as well.
I see. And what is like the first milestone in your career when it was like, oh, that's a good shot here? Like, okay, or something that you valued, right? I'm not saying like objectively, like what you took one job and you were like, oh, that's pretty nice, I got, right?
I think one of the first, which I felt really good about, was we did Takin Ova, the history of Norwegian hip hop. And it was really mainly interviews, but we had a really nice process with these interviews, and we tried to conceptualize them a little bit. Like, so every location, interview location, should have something to do with the character.
Okay.
Or the person being interviewed. So, and it could be in a lot of different ways, but I think we managed to kind of give some kind of depth to these interviews. I mean, like a layer for people who maybe know the artist or whatever, like something else to find out.
Okay.
I mean, except from the image. And I think I did like 80% of those interviews, so it felt like I'm a part of this project.
I see. Did you mean that you also conducted the interviews, or you just did the visual side?
I shot. I just did the visual side. Yeah,
perfect. Okay.
But I felt that was maybe one of the first like proper jobs. I mean, a lot of documentaries, because I've done quite a lot, but sometimes for some documentary films, they might have like 5 cinematographers who's been working on those films, and although those can be great projects, it feels maybe sometimes a bit more like, I was just like a part of a collective in a way.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against that, but it's harder to kind of try to build like a certain way of doing storytelling in that project because it's so many. So sometimes, I mean, some of those jobs were obviously important, but don't remember it so well, or didn't mean that much.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have this feeling. I know a lot of people, for example, like especially cinematographers, they want to work like for Netflix series or whatever, like this great cinematographer called Ferrari something. I don't remember his full name. He did the Black Hawk Down documentary. Like, I get that, but as long as it gets like the budgets get extremely big, I have a feeling that things can get extremely impersonal. Like there is no connection with the characters, etc., etc. Like, because as soon as you put like a bloody HMI blasting in front of a normal person, like that, all of a sudden, I don't think that's personal.
Yeah.
Like it's not just run and gun with someone you're more familiar with, etc., etc. So it depends what you want to do, of course, right? Maybe you don't care about documentaries per se, and you care more about the visuals than the actual story behind what you're doing, and that's completely fine. But in my estimation, for documentaries per se, I like when crews are small.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I don't like when things are too much scaled, like in documentaries.
Yeah, me too. I like the intimacy and the feeling of being with a character and being close, and that it's not too much like gear or stuff in kind of in between, like messing up the communication. I think maybe I could also mention like in film school I worked a lot with Aurora Gossé. And we shot one series which is called Skittensnø, and that was also maybe the first like fiction. I did a lot of short films and stuff, but this felt more like a proper bigger project. So that was the first kind of fiction
feature film, right?
Not feature film.
It was a
TV show. It was
TV show. Okay.
It was 8 episodes. Me and Aurora, we shot the 4 last episodes.
Okay.
So that was quite big for me as cinematographer. Later, we shot a feature film which is called Dancing Queen.
Okay.
Which Aurora directed. So I think like working with her has been really important as well. Yeah, she doesn't necessarily want too glossy or whatever, but she's very like camera close to the actors, and we develop ways how to move the camera and blocking with actors and doing a lot of fun stuff actually.
Okay.
And I think I think she's been very influential on me and how to be a cinematographer, not just like from the visual side, but also like how to be on the set and how to work with actors and so on. So
okay.
yeah.
More specifically, what is one thing that stuck with you that she, like, I don't know if it's camera movement or whatever, that she was really specific about that you still keep in your workflow?
We did some one-take scenes, for example, and how to move the camera in a dance with the actors or actresses, and also how to trying to convey something with these movements, not just for show, but to give it a meaning. Also, it wasn't even a graduation film, but we did like it was like a low budget short feature film. We did the second year in Norwegian Film School.
Okay.
And there we did some quite. I mean, we tested out a lot of stuff there because we had like a lot of time. Almost no gear, just one camera, one sound guy, and actresses and actors from the theater, what's it called, KIO, the Norwegian School for Theater. So we really kind of developed a style in a way, or working method, which also resulted in kind of a visual style, I think.
Okay. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. You should send me some of the stuff you did back then with her.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty. I want to see where you started as well.
Yeah. It's some.
Do you still work with her at all or no?
Sure. We shot the feature film Dancing Queen in 2023.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. That was a feature film, not a documentary.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Okay, let's proceed. I want to talk about. This is chapter 2. I don't know if you have read about it. It's essentially about the process of filming, like documentaries and the ethics behind it. So regarding holding like a camera, like when people, in documentaries, you are inverted documentaries. You're just following people living their lives, essentially, right? When you have a camera pointing at someone who is actually living his life, how do you achieve that he's not self-conscious about the camera? And how do you get to the point that he can actually react and overreact on how he would react in his actual life, right? Because I guess it's a common thing for documentary people that when you point the camera on someone, even if you don't have like just one camera, that the main, let's name it character or person that you're recording, he will know that there is a camera there, right? And he will block some things of his personality. So how do you, because I've seen your documentary with the ping pong family. So, and I was really amazed on how you achieved this intimacy and this spontaneity from the people who participated in.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think there's a lot of different like factors going into kind of creating this trust where this is actually possible. So I think like for me, the ping pong family, or with the Norwegian title Ping Pong Oslo, I was there, like I've been playing like street table tennis for a lot of years before I started filming. So and the method while filming was also it was not just that I came with a camera and started filming. I was playing for the most part. A lot of days I would bring the camera, but I wouldn't film anything. So I was there not just as something. I was there not just for.
That's maybe just for the sake of filming, right?
Yeah, not just to take something out, but also to just be there and get to know people. And I think that this maybe contributed to creating like a trust between me and everyone being there. And I guess also, of course, at some point you pick up the camera and you film because you think this is interesting to film. But I think that initial kind of contact and that you spend time with them, not filming as well, being interested in people, not just their dramas, but just like them as human beings. I think that's key to kind of to gain this trust. Yeah, I also think it's like, because I spent a lot of time there. I mean, I was filming for years, so at one point it's like, if you're not filming when something serious happens, it's like people would ask like, why is he not filming? Like they would expect you to
film,
to be there also when it's difficult.
Yeah.
And the not weird, but I think like the interesting thing, like human behavior wise, is like after a while, I mean, maybe not like the first 2 weeks you're filming, but if you've done it a lot, like for a year or 2 years or whatever with the same group of people, if something happens, if there's a conflict between or some arguing or whatever, people seem to be less self-aware when they're actually arguing with someone. This is kind of a relationship which, I mean, like 2 years into like this filming, I kind of noticed that people, if they're experiencing something or if they're arguing with someone or whatever, it's like they're less, the more agitated they are, the less they would care about the camera.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think that all that comes from the investment, which was, I wouldn't call it an investment, but you kind of invest in friendship and in project. And so it's not, I don't think it's not something that can, just takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess like when it begins, you need to be a bit careful. Like if, like I guess if something happens, maybe you need to take your camera down.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe like for myself, I had kind of this, you try to just justify yourself and your actions and how you and why you are there and so on and what's your right to be there. And I think like it took some time before I really felt like, okay, I can do this project and people here seem to be fine with it. And a lot of people are, they really want me to do it. And some people are skeptic, but they kind of respect it. Yeah, I think it's a lot of, I think the big question is like trust, spending enough time with these people, also without camera. And just building this relationship is really important.
I see. Well, I'm gonna ask a question. I don't want to hear bureaucratic or whatever. I totally get the trust and the building like a relationship. But what about paperwork? Do you need to sign any release forms with them?
Yeah.
And do you do that from the first day you go there, or like how does that look? Because I'm pretty sure that like, I don't know, at some point maybe you have, because if you're also friends with some of those people, you have a fight and then all of a sudden they tell you, I don't want to be included in the documentary. Like, how do you avoid that someone doesn't have a legal stand on that?
Yeah.
Especially when you have spent like 2 years, right? Not
absolutely.
1 week. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, no, I didn't release forms. I don't, I mean, it depends, but like in this kind of environment, I think bringing up release forms will seem really out of place, especially like immediately. If you do that, there's no trust at all, I think.
This is what I'm asking.
So, yeah. So you would, I think that is a very bad idea. So, but I was thinking a lot about this. So, and Ingvild Giske, who's the main producer at Medieoperatørene, she told me like, okay, even though, let's say you signed a release form at the beginning of the documentary, and one of the characters says like after 2 years of filming, like, you know what, I don't want to be in this. Even though this person had signed a release form, I think it would be very hard to include this person, at least to the full extent, in the finished product. So what I did was I didn't sign any release forms. I mean, I didn't hand out any release forms before they watched the film here in the office.
Yeah.
So they would see the film. I think everyone accepted. There were some small changes that we did after screening the film, and I mean this for the main characters. We didn't show the film to everyone before, but for like really the main characters and a little bit of the main not extras, but the
the people who weren't the focus of the documentary.
Yeah, but still who maybe had like a line or two or whatever.
Yeah.
But so this, so everyone signed actually after they've been watching the film.
Okay, so you have signed after the fact, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's kind of bold. When I discussed that with Thorstein, he had the exact opposite opinion.
Yeah.
When I discussed it with Thorstein, he advised me really harshly that I should always do it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess like Thorstein also worked to production that he should have done that.
Yeah, but I think it depends a little bit
on the project.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that, because if you go shoot like a family with a kid that has cancer or whatever, I don't know, like something that it's like a little bit too much on the edge.
Yeah.
And then the parents are like, you know, like maybe we shouldn't do that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I guess then you should have some respect, even if you have signed the release form too. Maybe you can talk with the people, but if it's a no, maybe you should just drop it. Like, I think it's better to put the human thing first, like to some capacity.
Yeah, I think so, and also, I mean, these are just like normal people who, I mean, they're very diverse group of people, but I mean, they all live in Oslo.
Yeah.
But these are not like some politician or some owner of a business or whatever. These are not people who in power in a way. I mean, I think you have to have like a respect for that fact. And ultimately it's their lives. So it's I think it's not the easiest subject, but it's very important to discuss all of these things.
And to be open about it. Yes.
Yeah.
For me, my only fear is that that the person I'm shooting will end up want to direct the thing if I don't have a release at all. You know, because you know some people have like ego trips or whatever, and they're like, you know, they visualize themselves different from what other people see them, etc., etc. And in my estimation, that can be dangerous. Like if like how much the main person who is showing himself in front of the lens, how much he has a saying, right? Like of course those are thin lines, you know, like, and you will never be able to know, but
yeah,
it's something that I have experienced with one of the documentaries I did, but luckily I did the documentary with a friend of mine, so he was pretty open about it. He was like, do whatever you want, right? And then I had a discussion with him. He was like, you know, like, I think you didn't show all of my personality traits, like, and then we had a discussion about that, but we just had different views on how he sees himself and how I see him.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, but this is how I think about it, at least.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I think I agree with you. Like, if you feel that the main person the main character of your film wants to direct too much, I think it's how to deal with that. I think in my case that never happened, but I can see that being a problem as well, like in other projects. So but I think it's nice to have some conversations like under the way, like during the shoot, and keep them a little bit updated on
Yeah, to not have underlying build-ups, let's say.
Yeah, so it's not a total surprise. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
really discuss like everything all the time. That would be impossible. But just to keep them like a little bit in the loop, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Great. Okay, I want to continue now with. It's not exactly a technical question. It is technical, and at the same time, it's not. It's about lenses.
Yeah.
I know both in fiction and non-fiction, people use different lenses for different reasons. Some for aesthetic, some for the distance. Like it's some for the texture or whatever. Like now, I would like to ask you, because I'm pretty sure that you also think about that. Is when you choose a lens, do you choose like longer lenses so you can be further away and not be too close, so you can be a little bit more separated from the characters, or you use like a more wide angle lens so you can be a little bit closer to them, and so you can actually have almost like a conversation with them with the camera?
Yeah, I think, for example, in Ping Pong Family, the main idea for the cinematography of the film was to kind of make you feel that you're at this square at Scouts Plus in Grünerløkka in Oslo. So that was the main idea, that to make like people feel as though they were kind of immersed in this world, in this little square. So that meant shorter lenses, being kind of in the midst of the action. I was thinking a little bit like a classical photojournalist, like shooting a lot of stuff on a 35 millimeter.
I was pretty sure I was going to say 35. So, yeah.
So, but I really like to. I'm not like a purist that the camera should always be on a tripod or whatever. It's not about that. But I really like 35 millimeters is kind of the perfect combination, I think, because you can move close to someone and get a really nice close up, and you can still and still feel the background, and you can always like just pull back a little bit, and you can also make a wider shot or a wide shot. And I think like this lens is like super for that kind of
35 millimeter we're talking right now.
Yeah, 35. But I mean like 28 maybe also, but 28 to 35, maybe 40. It's
on
really,
a super 35 sensor.
No, on a full frame sensor.
On a full frame, okay.
On a super 35 sensor, that would be like 24.
24, yes. It's 1.5.
Around 24.
Yeah.
So so that was the main. But I also shot parts of it with the zoom lens from 28 to 70. But I tried to actually stick to the 35 millimeter.
Okay.
A lot, in a lot of the scenes.
Yeah, I absolutely get it. It also simplifies some things.
Yeah, and also I think also gives. I think a lot of documentaries they tend to look a bit chaotic because there's been like numerous cinematographers. There's been all kinds of different optics being used.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, with Ping Pong, I wanted to, being a DOP and directing this documentary for myself, I thought, okay, I'm gonna try to give this like a kind of a uniform style in a way, like it's gonna look like one piece of work.
Yeah.
That was kind of, I think that was important and interesting, because I haven't. I mean, I know it's been done, but I think a lot of time you see documentaries kind of maybe not being so. Yeah, they're a little bit all over the place sometimes.
Yeah, not visually consistent. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. For me, I don't have a problem if they change lenses. I have a problem if all of a sudden from non-stylized light we come to stylized light, and then to non-stylized light. And some interviews they have stylized light, and then we don't have it. It's like for me it pulls me out. It's like you see like a documentary style in Netflix, and then all of the interviews are like extremely like well curated, nicely lit. It's almost like a film. And then all of a sudden, like the interviews change, and you're like, oh, what happened here?
Yeah.
Like, how does it belong to this word? And I've seen that actually happening to, I don't remember the name. It was one documentary I've seen the other day. But yeah, so I absolutely get your point about that.
Yeah, I think it's also like for interviews, for example. I think in my mind, it's a little bit like you can either go like, I wouldn't say full Netflix style, but like light it a little bit. But even though like you try to keep it quite naturalistic, but you can help a little bit in the face or have a little bit backlight to make some separation from the background or whatever. But trying to make it as naturalistic as possible. But yeah, I totally agree that if you have like 3 different kind of styles for the interview sections there, it's can be a little bit pulls you out of the thing.
Yeah. So as far as I understand, when it comes like to the visual style, you like to keep it realistic, not put too much. Okay. Even with lighting, you're not gonna ever get. Do you ever get 300-watt lights or?
Just actually this lamp, which we have here sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But not on the ping pong project, but the new project I'm working on now. We are shooting some interviews, and we've been using until now. We've been using this as a kind of the main light.
Okay, I see. I think they're pretty low key as well. Like,
yeah.
Like there are DOPs that they like to use with HMIs on like documentaries. Like, like like again, this is just a preference, right? So I'm just interested to see why people use what they use.
Yeah,
like
I think like it depends on the documentary, of course. But I think if you let's say it was about the royal family and everything was supposed to look. This is not my kind of documentary, anyways. But
yeah.
But maybe if I
guilty pleasure.
if I was to do that, maybe I could bring like a couple of 18 case, blast them through the window, doing like a lot of the lighting from the outside, and I could imagine doing that. But but it's rare that you have like this kind of lighting budget in a Norwegian documentary.
Yeah, I get it.
That would kind of eat up the 2/3 of a normal documentary budget in a way. So,
okay. I didn't know
maybe not that much, but it's
maybe if it's a short documentary, it could be utilized.
Maybe,
yes. If you have a feature length budget and you put it like into a short, that could be. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
interesting. Me personally, I'm pretty close to what you're saying. I like to be a bit more fluid with like the camera and the lights.
Yeah.
Like, and I like when it comes to being in a room, I like to light my scenes like with the window, like where is the window and how much I can work with that. And then if I have like a reflective surface that I can move somehow, then I use that. And I was actually pretty surprised that works pretty nice.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
half of the time. Like if you can actually expose with the window, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
The other thing is like sometimes for long interviews, if it's fluctuating a lot, like the level of light, it can be a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I mean, if you have like a big window or whatever, you use as the main source with not a direct sunlight, but like diffused light. I think it's quite nice to use something like this.
Those 300 watts.
To add a little bit to it.
Yeah, and also keep some consistency to it.
Yeah,
but I don't think those are too intense though to go against the light of the sun out exterior, right?
No, it's you need way more.
Yeah. Even 600, it's not enough, probably.
I think you need way more. Also.
Yeah, maybe 1200, and even there you need to be close.
Yeah. So I think like for documentary work, I also prefer to be quite fluid, not bringing too much gear. I think maybe one thing which is which we do a lot in fiction, but which is also I think could be done more in documentaries is like negative fill, just to give like a face some more modulation.
Yeah, like more depth, to the shadows. Yes.
Yeah, to the shadow side.
Yeah,
I think that's often an easy way to kind of get away from this very flat lighting. Like in this room, for example, it's bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
So I actually made the option they just bought like this frame, which is really light, and you can just like it's like a tent pole kind of concept.
Okay.
So you can just like build it up, and you have like a frame which is 4x4 or something.
Okay, you should show me afterwards because I'm looking for one as well.
Yeah. It's really nice, and light, you can really take it anywhere, and you have like different fabrics, black, like silk or something, which you can shoot through, and one which is just bounce white. So I think it's a really nice piece of gear, actually.
I guess like a small thing for people who are not into like directing of photography, it's important to say that if people are using like negatives, like if they want to shoot a wider, like whatever shot, they need to have like also bigger like negatives. I mean, for me, it's whenever people ask me about negatives, it's like just use common sense, just bring it as close as you can to see how much light you're blocking actually.
Yeah.
Like, and then start taking it away to see how much like you introduce when you take it away.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of important for negatives to always have in mind the relative size between the negative and how close you are with the camera to the person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, now we can actually get to the
ping pong
family. Yes.
Yeah.
Righty.
Should I just start a sentence like?
Yeah, I can ask you.
Okay.
About it. Cool. Let's discuss about your. It's not your most recent work, but it's one of your works that have been playing now around the film festival circuit. Now it's playing at NRK. Called Ping Pong Family. So yes, can you get me into the project? What is it? How many years it got to be made, etc., and like the story a little bit.
Yeah. So Ping Pong Family, with the Norwegian title Ping Pong Oslo, it just came out in Norwegian television NRK a week ago. It's about a group of people playing table tennis outside, street table tennis, in a square in Oslo, which is called Skaus Plus. So the film is about. It's not so much about table tennis, but more about the social fabric, the need for a community, and the need to belong to somewhere and to someone. So that's basically it. It's about this community where the common denominator is table tennis.
Nice. And you already said that you were already there, right? Like before going, you were already playing with this group of people, right?
Yes, and we actually started, or actually did some test shooting in 2010. So the idea is quite old, actually.
Bloody hell! Just to give you a reference, I was 7.
Yeah. So and then I went to film school and everything, and was pretty. Tried to just make money and do all the work I could. And the idea was kind of in the back of my head still. But so I was trying again in 2018 to start the project. Didn't work out. I didn't quite knew how to take on the project, how to kind of get it going. But then when COVID came in 2020, and all my jobs just evaporized. I was thinking, okay, now I got to do this ping pong thing. And ping pong is not like a contact sport, so there was actually a lot of action at Scouts Plus. People were playing a lot, so I thought, okay, now is the time. If not now, it's never gonna happen. So I just COVID was kind of productive in a way because I got to start this project.
Okay, nice. The exact opposite from the rest of the population. You got Well, not really. I don't think that's true. Maybe some people, maybe musicians, they were not active, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in our craft, they got pretty creative to survive
Yeah, I think so
during the
too.
pandemic.
Yeah, I was really thankful about that. I mean, I didn't make any money or whatever at the start, but it kind of helped me focus, and I really got to spend time with people, and yeah. So it was thanks COVID. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I don't mean that, but
Thanks God to
thanks to
COVID.
COVID. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know what you're
I'm
saying.
really glad it's all over. But yeah.
So another interesting fact I think about the movie is that the people involved into the ping pong community, it was really diverse. It was just from exchange students to you who you are a filmmaker to drunks. Maybe I don't know if there were any people with drug problems in it.
Sure.
Because most likely, but it was like a pretty diverse, and also people just with families, normal people with just with their kids. Like I found it really interesting how it actually coexists so many identities into one place.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's I haven't seen anything quite like this community in Norway. So I was really fascinated by it. And I mean, it's I think like if you go there every day or every second day or whatever, or maybe once a week, but if you do that kind of long enough, you will start to have like relationships with all these different people and as a group. So I think this kind of hanging together creates a strong bond. Like take some time, but after some time you will have like a sense of these people, and you will trust them. Really, like there's a lot of trust going into this. So I think I'm still playing a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'm there a couple of times a week,
Okay,
and
nice.
so it's a very strong like I would say family relationship. Yeah, I love all of these guys. So yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, it's so strange that it's ping pong, the main thing, because it's not like a famous sport. At least in Greece, it's like a famous sport, that it unites people. Most of the time in Greece, we have football. People go out play football or whatever, or basketball sometimes.
yeah.
But ping pong, it's like ping pong. Okay,
Yeah, I know. I think it's. I mean, like in Oslo and a lot of other cities in Europe. But in Oslo, you have quite a lot of tables just standing around at different squares,
Okay.
in some parks, at some corners,
Mm-hmm.
in schoolyards. So I think these tables are so accessible, and table tennis is very it's like easy to do.
Yeah.
And you can do it at like a lot of different levels. So I guess that accessibility is kind of key. Yeah, and I think like gradually these communities around these tables have been forming, and
Yeah,
it's a beautiful. I think it's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing because it's also a play thing, It's not like a community based upon money or based upon like like the main thing connecting people. It's a game, So people can actually be playful, which in my estimation, it's really important to have like a playful background when you have personal relationship with people.
Yeah.
And I see that sometimes I'm struggling with when it comes even to the documentary industry. Like, how do you break this wall so you can actually be playful as well and be professional as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, so, this is how I felt also while I was watching the film. I was like, okay, like there is an underlying healthy connecting point to the community.
Absolutely.
I
I think also like meeting over like a sport, like it's something which kind of it opens up. You don't need to talk with everyone the first day or whatever, but
Yeah.
you kind of do this together, and after a while there will be like situations or whatever, maybe something happened to you, and you have like a need to talk about this, and then it can be quite natural just to to blow off some steam,
Yeah.
and to talk with someone there. And I think that happened a lot, like so it's it's valuable in a lot of different ways, I think.
I see. Right. That's kind of like the last chapter for the podcast. It's about the industry,
Yeah.
of the documentary industry in Norway. I have different questions about the industry. We can maybe focus on the industry in Oslo. Like, simple question: how is the documentary scene in Norway? Right, like the funding options. Like, can you make a living out of that? Like, realistically speaking, like, or maybe it just needs time to evolve there. And if you think that people should get into that, if there is a future into documentaries in Norway.
I think most definitely there's a future for documentaries in Norway. It's I'm not sure how exactly it's in other countries, but I think the funding in Norway is, like relatively good. Like there are opportunities to fund your projects. Of course, the competition is really high, so I wouldn't say it's easy, but I don't think it's not impossible. Like it's hard, and you have to put a lot of time and effort, and I think you really have to love it, because it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be very rewarding if you kind of if you finish a project, or not just finish a project, but if you like to be in this process, and it's great business. Not to get rich, but
Yeah.
for as a documentary filmmaking, I think it's
definitely possible. You think that they, like, maybe, if you love it enough, there are spaces. Like,
there are spaces, that most definitely, and I
Yeah.
think like there's always also room for new ideas. New projects. If someone has like shot or made some really exciting, well thought out material, I think it's definitely a place. Personally, for young people starting out, you have to be quite, like, in a way, a little bit focused. Like, I think you should know that, okay, I really want to do this. Like, I'm really interested in documentary filmmaking. So yeah, I think you need a motivation. If this is what you want to do, I think it's absolutely, like, financially speaking, might be hard to. What I noticed myself is like the combination of having this cinematography background, makes it easier to, like, financially to make it go around, because you can do like shorter projects, or just like maybe a day here, or a day there, to get some more money so to make some more money. I think it can be quite hard to just live off the documentary projects, but I still think that's also possible. But I think you need to arrange your life a little bit. Like, you have to have you have to shoot, like, being the principal photography of one project, and you need to have like another one which is maybe just starting up, and then like a third one which is in editing.
Okay.
So you need to have, like, if you're gonna do this, like, only this documentary filmmaking, I think you have to be very you need to make sure you have like project in different phases.
Yeah.
To make it work.
Yeah. So you can have like.
So you can alternate between the.
Yeah, between the incomes.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. That's actually the first time I hear about that. So that's actually a good point, I think.
Yeah, but I still think you need to maybe do some like other stuff as well, but
yeah, like maybe commercials or whatever here and
there, or maybe like infotainment or whatever, info films, whatever.
Yeah,
can be a lot of different things, but
yeah. Like I get that. Like, but even there, I think people should also place like some limits to what they do. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, because I talked with a lot of people in the industry about that. Like, for example, for me, working on like reality shows, that's a no-no. I told you as well.
Yeah.
That's a big no. Like, it's not that I don't want them to exist, but it's just like, you know, like it just passes like a limit. I'm like, okay, that's too much, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, I have like this like reference that if I wanted to do a job less than working on a food truck or on a cafe, I shouldn't get it.
Yeah.
You know, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Like this is the way I think about it, because
Yeah.
I also have like now the reference with the food truck I was working. So I'm like, okay, now I am capable of comparing things,
Yeah.
like my needs and my wants,
Yeah.
like, regarding jobs.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Still, I think it's like, I mean, of course, it's good to have some sort of like system, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. Still, it can be like sometimes you might have to do something which you really don't want to do. But
Yeah.
I mean, if the alternative is to, because there's like a certain like kind of skill set also, like which
Yeah.
is needed for a documentary. So if you do like a reality show or whatever, to if that can make you
A better.
or if that can make you better and even help finance another project, it might be worth doing like once or twice at least.
I get it. I get your point. Like, and I think you're right about that. Like, my mindset, it's a little bit more childish. It's like some things I just can't tolerate, you know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But
I just, you know, it's just for me, it's just at some point I just break with people, you know. Like, I don't break easily, but there is a point and a time I'm like, okay, that limit. It's not logical, you know. It's not that I'm going through a process. I'm like, okay, after that threshold, it's like, nope, you know, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, of course, it's that's probably gonna put me in a bad position if I'm financially struggling at some point. But you know, like, I guess for me, it's worth it. Like,
Yeah.
like. In any case, something regarding the industry here, I would like to ask you if it's a good idea to present yourself as a niche documentary DOP, like as this really specific position, you know?
Yeah.
Or if it's better to say, okay, I'm just generally interested into documentaries and I'm interested in just helping out.
Yeah.
Like, if that's a good thing, way of thinking, or if it's a bad way of thinking. Just also that goes along with your competence, right? Right. I'm not saying that you present yourself as a niche competent DOP for documentaries, but you're not that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think there are a couple of cinematographers in Norway who do a lot of documentaries. Who, at least I perceive them as almost like documentary DPs, and some of them are really good, top notch. And I see some of them, they do a lot of the work, documentary work, and I mean, it might be because they are like branding themselves as documentary DPs, but it also might be that they had some luck and maybe a lot of people they studied with, they've done a lot of projects lately, so they had a lot of work coming to them. But still, I think maybe it could be like a nice thing to get started, like that you really like into this and you want to do, like, this is what you want to do, like you want to shoot documentaries. I mean, parts of my career I also wanted to do that like a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's a good thing. I think like the most important thing is to have something to show to that you shot a project, maybe just a short documentary or whatever, but to get going, to have something to show for. I think it's maybe the most important thing. And I think that's the kind of conversations you have with the director, what you're able to do, how you shot it, and blah blah. I think that's more, all of those things are more important than actual branding, you know, like But maybe it could be useful sometimes. But I think the working relationships are the most important in my mind.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, which I guess it takes also time to build those relationships. It doesn't just come from one day to another.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have like the motivation and you have like you really want to do this, and people and you talk to people about documentary filmmaking and so on. So I think it's not impossible that people would say like, oh, maybe he or she wants to do it. Maybe that could be an interesting project for this person to be a part of. And so it's a little like it's a combination of a little bit like luck and circumstances and of course the effort you put in yourself, maybe being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's also, I think luck, it's also a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. Before we close, I would like to ask you, what's your opinion on how AI is slowly evolving and how it affects already like documentaries, and where you think it's gonna go, like, or if it's gonna affect like the documentary filmmaking at all, or if it's not gonna touch it, like
so AI in documentaries, I think what we're seeing, I mean, like for example, for transcription of interviews, it's not perfect, but I mean it's come pretty far, like
yes,
using AI to do the transcripts. I think it's a huge help
in DaVinci as well.
Like in DaVinci
it's amazing.
Like Adobe and another third-party
I'm also using DeepL. I don't know if you have tried that.
I haven't tried
it's
that.
It's a translator, so when I do document, like even in Norwegian, I don't need anyone. I just translate everything in DaVinci from from an AI from outside.
Yeah,
and the translation, it's amazingly good.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah. Maybe I would like to check that out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think AI has like, depends on the way you use it, but I think like it can make a lot of stuff obviously easier, and it can be a help in a lot of ways, I think. The other like big issue is we're seeing now the introduction of like all these generative AI video generators. And I think like if you look at the aspect of truth and what is was it AI or was it really shot?
Yeah,
like these kind of questions I think gonna be becoming more and more like obvious and more discussed, because it's it's quite scary what some of these AI generators can do.
Yeah,
I just saw like this. There was this commercial about the Ferrari, I think, and they done like there's like a spec commercial. So there's this guy who made this spec commercial, and the first 3 minutes of the video, he's showing this family, which is like a traditional Italian family. And they were having a quite adventurous life, and they made Porsche and blah 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 blah, and they shot like in a lot of different locations.
Yeah,
and this is available on YouTube. After the commercial, there's this guy doing like there's like this behind the scenes part of it. So the director is telling like his vision about this documentary, how it was made, what a fantastic crew it was to work with, and so on and so on. And after like you've seen it, it says like everything is AI. The commercial is AI, but also the behind the scene footage is also AI.
Yes,
generated. And it actually says so also in the description, but who reads that description anyway?
Yeah.
But it was quite. It was shockingly real, a bit like stylized, but you could still. I mean, I felt like I've seen this kind of stuff before, which was not AI generated, which was actually. So it kind of lent from this filmmaker talking about stuff he did, and in really like believable way. So, anyways, I think the question will be. If it's so easy to cheat. Like, I guess the answer from the documentary world would be, yeah. So how do we deal with potentially like AI generated material could end up in documentaries, and people could question the whole documentary field. It's maybe a little bit extreme, but still some sort of like there's been like different talk about like building in like a blockchain code into like the original footage.
Really? Okay.
So like I'm not an expert in this, but so every time someone does something like manipulation of everything from grading, color grading to sound, or maybe not sound, but color grading, VFX, whatever, it will be baked into the code of the image.
Footage, yes.
Which I find a bit exciting, because I think truthfulness, authenticity is our best response for what's coming. Because that's going to be like a really important and valuable like asset.
Absolutely. If they can somehow have like a code for the videos that like each like video has like its signature, its like digital footprint.
Yeah.
And like it's good enough to be able to see if that's actual true footage or non-true footage. I think that would also probably get out a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
Because as soon as, I don't know, in 2-3 years, probably it will, not 2-3, maybe 5-10 years, it doesn't matter. Like probably AI image generators and video generators are going to be indistinguishable from actual footage.
Probably.
And I think that's dangerous, especially with political documentaries.
Yeah.
Just adding like behind the scenes of something that Trump said or something that Kamala said, and then you just build your own narrative, right?
Yeah. So I think politically, like, the consequences can be quite dire. I think like it's a bit scary. So I think my point was just like it would be really, I mean, for documentary filmmakers, like the truthfulness and to have like this integrity and to really be open if you use AI to, for example, if you animate maybe a sequence, for example. So I think we need to be open about this when we're using AI. And of course, like AI generated imagery doesn't really have like a natural place in documentaries. In my mind, that is. I think it's going to be very important to have like this integrity, and also valuable in a way that that the public can really trust.
I absolutely agree with that. And like now in documentaries we still don't see that because the generators are not good enough to do that, but in actual journalism, when it's supposed to be written, they use a lot of bloody AI, because now AI, when it comes to written, like to write something, you cannot say that it's AI. And I when people tell me that they can see when something is AI generated, they cannot. Like I don't believe that they can really say that something was text based from like an AI. Like at least in my estimation, it's indistinguishable. Like when you read something to understand if it's not AI written.
I think also like right now, like huge leaps are being made in this technology. So like it's not gonna be very long before like you will see a lot of. I think we're gonna have a lot of cases about trying to manipulate elections or whatever. I think we're gonna see that quite soon. So and I think so. Documentary filmmakers maybe will be more valuable than ever. Because we have the stamina to stay at a subject over years. And that's maybe our most important asset, I think. That and the integrity.
Maybe a mission as well now. That the integrity of the footage is gonna be undermined by AI. I would like to close the podcast with a question about what is like your favorite documentary
Yeah. I think I'm a favorite.
The one that you
yeah.
are like, I like this documentary a lot,
Yeah. It's one film which has been quite influential on me is De kaller oss mods.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what the English title is. It's like something like They Call Us Mods,
Okay.
which is a Swedish film from director Stefan Jarl.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's a trilogy actually. So the first film is really like it's made in 1968, and it's about these two kids. The kids, they're like in their maybe 15, 16, 17 years old.
Okay.
And they're hanging around in Stockholm, and the year is 1968. And they're kind of mocking the kind of the normal Swede who goes to work, and they're really like rioting against society. And it's all black and white, shot on the streets in Stockholm, and the film just follows these two guys around drinking, being with girls, arguing with each other. It's a combination of cinema verite and a little bit of direct cinema as well. Some interviews.
Okay.
It's a very famous film in Sweden. I was influenced by this film. One of the characters in Ping Pong, he would always do like this, like a parody of one of the characters in this film.
Okay.
So one of the characters' name is Kenta.
Mm-hmm.
Their names are Kenta and Stoffa.
Okay.
And Grels, which was one of the characters in Ping Pong, he would always reference Kenta from this film.
I don't believe that.
So
interesting.
So I actually had like, because he would do it like all the time, and I actually put one of those lines or into the film.
Okay, cool.
So, but I think you have to be quite observant to catch it. But for me, this film was, and the whole trilogy, it's really a masterful piece of filmmaking because it follows these guys over the span of 30 years or something.
30 years.
And like the first film is maybe like very like kind of raw cinema verite.
Yeah.
While the other films, they use a mixture of like methodology and like they use like reenactments and a lot of different stuff.
Interesting.
So
From,
it's
cinema verite to reenactments. That's a spin.
Yeah, I know. It's so I think like the kind of playfulness with how you shoot and how you direct and how you make these films, I think it's quite amazing. And also like the journey of especially Kenta is quite remarkable. It's a classic in Scandinavia or Swedish cinema.
Great. I need to give it a watch because I haven't even heard about it.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I think you'd be interested in
Absolutely, it sounds interesting at least.
It is.
Yeah. Åsmund, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
It was a pleasure.
Yes. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining us today and see you next time. And as I say every time, that's that.